like niggas know might as well.
All
Hi,
right. Hey,
Dan.
welcome guys. This is our weekly Thursday call, AC. Today we're gonna just kind of go through around each, we're gonna go around all of us and just kind of see different struggles that we're currently having now. And then we're just gonna kind of chime in and help each other out. Seeing where things are. JP, how about you go first, man? How's this week going so far?
Man, so far so good. I onboard a few new clients, which is always exciting. But same thing, just developing my personal development group. I have a podcast later on. So I'm very excited. So far so good. I mean, I think this year, the first quarter of the year, has been very promising for the rest of it. Everything is about momentum. How you
Yep.
keep that momentum going, and that's how you gotta stay focused. Once you like going that wave, like you try not to get off. So just
Yeah,
keeping everything straight right now.
100%. What about you, Mr. Ace?
Sure. It's been a slow progression, slowly but surely. I say the first quarter's been promising for me, humbly. Um, First off, limit my drinking to not drinking at all anymore.
Okay.
Reevaluating everything in my life from last year, and like I told you, Danny, been having the first interview from the phone call to showing up for the interview and got the job after what was it like 6 months of looking for a reliable income. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that's coming to full fruition for me.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man. God's doing work in you, man. Sometimes he's gonna tell you to wait, man. And you know what I mean? It's telling you to wait, and you're in the process season. I've been telling you that for a moment, right? Sometimes it might not seem like it's closer and it's right around the corner, man. But as you stay patient, man, and you just trust, things start coming your way, man. But overall, man, this week has been really promising for me as well. There's again a lot of momentum, a lot of energy from where I'm at, and I think it just comes from me putting a lot into people, right? The more I start pouring into people, the more life just starts giving, going my way. So yeah, dude, it's been a good month so far. So that being said, JP, into this week, man, we're going to talk about something that has been a recurring theme for at least a lot of our athletes and the people in our life, right? It's the term of macro patience and micro urgency. Okay. A lot of times nowadays, AC, a lot of people focus on macro urgency. Okay. The urgency to be successful, the urgency to be fit already, the urgency to be healthy already when they haven't eaten the way they're supposed to. Right. So we're going to dive into that today, AC, and just kind of give you, glimpses of both coaches and what we see. And I hope today really inspires you, man, and really motivates you to start moving into the direction, the momentum you need to this year and make this year great for you. Okay.
Gotcha.
Perfect. JP.
Man, if we're gonna focus more on the athlete perspective, I think we can. I mean, we can include it in everything in life. It's like you try and get that job, right? It's that urgency, but you don't know what God is doing on your favor in order for you to actually get the right job or whatever that is. It's preparing you for that aspect, right? For you to be ready. So once you get that blessing, you can always you can actually keep it up because that's the thing. We trying to just live in the urgency of doing things. Oh, I want to be rich now. I want to get the muscle now. I want to be that person now. But remember, like we need to be, do, and have. We gotta be that person first. We gotta do what that person is gonna be, and then you're gonna have that result. Same thing we're talking about as an athlete, right? We need to see the big picture. What's the big picture? Is the macro, right? What's the big picture? What I need to do. Now, be urgent with the micro, which is the things that you got to do every single day in order to get there. Getting your meals in, getting your sleeps in, getting your reps in, making sure you go above and beyond. Okay, so that's the micro part, the things you got to do every day, every single task. That's what all the compound every day of your macro daily do's is what's gonna bring the macro. So we gotta be, we do, then we have. Does that make sense?
Makes
Phenomenal,
perfect
JP.
sense. Yeah.
100%. JP, that was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. This is bright and early energy, AC. This is exactly what you need for the day, man. At least starting your day, right? So,
Mhm.
the biggest thing I've seen, AC, working with you for a little bit, and then obviously knowing your circumstances of how things might seem promising, right? From your job perspective, where you might, you thought this job was going to hold you on for a long time, and then out of nowhere they say, "Hey, we don't need you," right?
Mhm.
That right there, your downfall, your struggle, for the past months, man, like you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Those are all lessons, right? And I hope you had the time to take a step back and just reflect on the lesson that, again, God put in your life,
Hmm.
right? Lessons, those downfalls, those times for you need to have a lot of reflection, right? And I hope you took a step back to say, hey, what skills do I need, right? What skills do I need to develop, right? What systems do I need to put in play to allow myself to grow to the person I want to be, right? Because sometimes we focus too much on the outcome and not allowing ourselves to do the things that get the outcome. Does that
Hmm.
make sense? It goes into whatever JP said, be, do, have, right? If we focus on being in the process, right, and continue to push forward, you will then gain momentum, right? That first start of that momentum is what's going to allow you to gain that energy, the belief, right? Because self-belief is so important, right? And that goes into anything, right? Whatever you want to chase, whether it's fitness, finances, relationship, you need to have that self-belief that you can hold that peer for a long time, you know? And that hey, JP and I can commend you, man. Being an athlete, you understand the discipline that goes behind just being patient, right? Because you understand that fitness itself, right? You understand fitness is such a delayed gratification kind of deal, right? It's such a delayed gratification. You don't go into the gym and just look like a Ronnie Coleman. You don't go to the gym and look like you're gonna be, Usain Bolt running on the tracks. That's not how it works. So again, we both as coaches commend you for being patient. And now this year so far, man, you hopping on these calls with us, starting off already this week. I hope you continue to do this with us because number one, we're going to get your mindset straight, man. And when your mindset's in a really good spot and you're surrounded by really good positivity, you're going to notice that every single time you move forward, you're going to remember this call, right? Because again, just like JP and I ask all our athletes, who do you have in your life that sits you down and asks you about your goals? AC, who do you have in your life that sits you down and asks you about your goals recently?
Well, not just
How,
you, but also, but also my close friend, who I'm on the
there you
phone
go.
with almost every day. So my close friend, because he and I, we talk about like some funny stuff here and there, but we always circle back to our goals. What he wants to do, what I want to do. We always keep each other accountable.
Good.
100%.
Those are the people you gotta keep around.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Awesome.
sometimes when you're in that low moment, man, you got to keep chasing the people, right? You got to keep having those people in your life and continue to nurture that because those relationships will be everlasting. You know, those conversations aren't small talk, right? They're meaningful conversations just like this we're having. And for JP and I, we want to continue to pour into people, man. Like this is one of our first ones where you're the first guest. We continue to do these calls and we want to continue to grow this every Thursday. So again, we want you to invite some friends who, maybe want to refresh and realign themselves right at the end of the week. We're going into the weekend. A lot of people start to pull back the brakes, right? They pull back the brakes and they say, hey, I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna celebrate this weekend, right? And for us and JP, we want to continue to press forward, right? Continue to progress. So Chidozi, what do you feel like are some of your wins this week, man?
Some of this week,
And how
I
can
took.
JP help you?
All right, I got a few. I got a few right now. So at work, even though I'm still new, learning the ropes and such, I took initiative, doing outside for what they instructed me to do to close up because I was by myself in the meat shop where I got everything done, and then it's almost the time for me to leave, but I also see certain sections not fill up yet, and this is something that they haven't told me to do, but I went to the back and grabbed the meats where I don't know where it's supposed to go, but I took initiative to actually get to know where those meats supposed to go. And the assistant manager told me you should do that because that was a social initiative. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. So I definitely do that. And mind you, it's not that I'm going to stay forever. It's just me practicing taking initiative in my life and uh, take initiative in my life and not waiting for somebody just to give me directions and just follow those set directions. But also, if you know something needs to be done, then you do it regardless. So
Oh,
that's a win for my book so far this week.
man, that's awesome. Just going above and beyond. Like this is the problem that we normally have. It's like people normally want to do the bare minimum. And when you do the bare minimum, that's probably what you normally get. The bare minimum. If we want excellence in our life, we need to go always, always, always. We gotta go above and beyond, no matter what it is. It gotta be in relationships. It gotta be in friendships. It gotta be in the jobs. It gotta be to your own self. Always gotta go above and beyond. So I'm very glad that you taking initiative and actually doing these things outside of the norm. So always go above and beyond, and that long term is gonna pay off, bro.
Yeah, 100%. And there's one phrase that I say a lot. AC, you probably heard this one time, right? Some people expect 100% results, but put in 50% effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's, the little skills that you're developing now, man, is the reason why you're in the position you are, right? The lessons of your other job are leading you to this position because this job that you have now is not your forever job, right? It's teaching you skills, it's teaching you everything you need to know until you're ready and you feel like you've outgrown it. Then life will start moving you forward. Does that make sense? Because I'm pretty sure JP and I have worked jobs that, we knew it wasn't going to be forever job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have this urge, you have to have this hunger, you have to have the desire, right, to continue to improve. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
it should be burning desire for you to excel and want to over deliver and want to improve every single day. So that being said, as you continue to start becoming yourself and becoming the person you need to be, you will start to branch off very fast, right? But you have to start being in line with the things you say. So like don't under deliver and say, oh, I'm gonna do bare minimum, because
Mm-hmm.
deep down in your heart, you know that that's not me. Does that make
Exactly.
sense?
Exactly. It was
That's
never
not.
been me to begin with. Every time I hear people say, "Oh, do the bare minimum at this X and Y Z job," whether it be a retail job or a corporate job or a trades job, to me, it just sounds it's not really effectively you, right? You just there just trading time for money, but you really need you're already there. Whatever job you're in right now, whether it be in coaching, whether it be in retail, whether it be in design, whether it be in construction, you doing you learn how to be the best self towards yourself, towards everybody around you, so that way that once you upgrade to yourself and doing doing beyond the bare minimum, go above beyond, then a lot of greatness will come to you. And I realized that, like, reflecting myself from years then, that's who I was before, and doing the bare minimum. I agree. It's definitely not me. It's definitely not what people who wants greatness to
Yeah,
have the habits to be like.
right.
100%.
Tell
You,
you
you, you got to remember, this is something that I want you to keep up with for yourself. Is how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you apply everything that sentence right, that quote right there in every area in your life, you will see like, no, I can do better. Like you see that trash in the ground, like this happened to me. Trash in the ground, I know it's not mine. I'm like, "Ugh," I cannot just leave it because how you do anything is how you do everything, right? You always gotta do the best, not expect somebody else to do it or whatnot. So always how you do anything is how you do everything. So pull yourself 100% in everything you do, and it is unquestionably that you're gonna be successful.
Yeah. If we can all agree the power of compounding effect and compounding habits, right, is what's going to give you the life that you want, right? So again, AC, when you're going to your job, man, and let's say something feels off or you're just kind of half-assed doing it, check yourself, right? Check yourself. You're like, hey, this is not who I am. So if you do things correctly, you'll notice that you have more comfort, you'll have more confidence in yourself, right? Because you didn't half-ass do anything, right? Because life on the other side for you, right, the life you want to go to, it has these missing pieces of the puzzle, right? So think about, imagine this, imagine the life that you want, the things you want in your life. It's a puzzle, okay? And if you haven't developed these skills, right, and you haven't become the person you need to be, right, and let's say you're doing the bare minimum, there's still a lot of missing pieces of the puzzle, right? When you start to align yourself and you say, hey, I'm going to be as perfect as I can, I'm going to take action every day, and you start to be aligned with who you really are deep down in your heart, you'll take those pieces of the puzzle and it'll start filling the piece of the puzzle, right? Life is a game, man. JP and I realized that life's a game, you know? And then when you start to really, really just be yourself, most authentic self, and you give it to the world, because that's what we're doing, man. Like JP and I, we just develop ourselves. Like we're on this self-development journey and we want to just give it to the world, right? We have this, like, we have too much energy. And we just want to, hey, break through those plateaus, man. Break through those barriers of like who you are now, because the other side is just much better, man.
Yeah.
Like the other side of just becoming that best version, man, AC, it's you can't even I can't even put it into words. JP would know. Like we had a conversation last night, AC, we couldn't even put it to words, how we feel. Like we were just so on the same energy, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why call, man. Like, we just want to give it to you. Like, hey, AC, we know the job that you're at right now, it's not gonna be your forever job, right? So I hope you take this call, and run with it today, and I hope it inspires you and you pull aspiration from it and say, hey, these guys are normal too, right? They go to the gym, they're both coaches,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not special than you, bro. We're all human, right? But the only thing you need to do, okay, and I want you to do this, start unlocking the pieces of the puzzle, right? Play the life game. All right, how do I get to level 5 of this game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got to do this. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So lay
Right.
down your blueprint. Lay down the blueprint that makes you feel your best every single morning. What is that blueprint? Is it waking up early? Okay. Are you a morning person? Are you a night person? Okay. Lay down the blueprint, what makes you feel best. If it's, for example, your non-negotiable, your steps. I remember you said, dude, this makes me feel great. Right. Waking up and just going for some walk, that made you feel great. That's your blueprint. If
Mm-hmm.
something that makes you feel great and it makes you very productive, right? And you start to feel like yourself, don't go off of it. That's the cheat code of life, right? Some people drift off of their principles, right? Which allows them to start drifting through life and be comfortable. And that's not what we're here for.
Right.
All right.
I love that. I love that. And understanding as well, like it's like people say, oh, growing pains. Yes, that's exactly how it is. Every situation like you going through pain, embrace it and love it because understand like that pain is gonna get you something good out of it.
Yes.
Nothing, not like life doesn't happen because of you. It happens for you. So
Yes.
when you understand that and you keep that mindset of gratitude because you are like, oh, I'm very appreciative, like things that are happening in my life because I know it's building me to the person I'm gonna become. Then you start seeing life different.
Yeah.
Have more peace.
100%.
You have more peace. You
100%.
start understanding like the bigger picture. What's the macro, right?
Yes.
That's when
Mm-hmm.
you start understanding. Just being grateful for every situation. You just understanding like everything should pass, bro, and you're gonna live your life in peace.
Yeah.
I know this hurts, but I know. So pour more into yourself, pour more into yourself, pour more into yourself, and you will see
Yeah.
how things like kind of clear up. And it's like that way you just come up out of your shoulders.
Yeah. So again, we can relate it right back to the gym, man. Like you don't put on muscle by not going through pain, right?
Exactly.
You don't put on muscle. You don't grow mentally by not going through pain. Pain is necessary, right? But it's staying grounded and understanding why you feel like that, right? Because when you start to feel pain, your emotions start taking over. And if you let your emotions start taking over, most of the time you start turning the other way, right? You turn to comfort, right? You turn to comfort. And one thing is, if you allow the pain and you really ground yourself, right? And JP and I talk about this. When you start to feel that, bring yourself to the highest frequency you can, right? If you start to feel like you're in a low moment, right, and you want to go to comfort, you want to go to porn, you want to go, instant gratification, go run, like go on a walk, right? Something to raise your vibration, your frequency, to not allow you to do those things, right? Because those quick dopamines or that, like I said, the instant gratification, just pleasure itself, comfort, that's what the human body is made to do, be comfortable, right? But comfort has never led anybody to success. Success
Mm-hmm.
leads to comfort, comfort leads to failure, right? And I want you to always remember that quote, man. Success leads to comfort, comfort leads to failure. When you have a taste of success, you sit back because you think this is what it is, right? But we're not really focused on that, man. We're not just focusing on either, the financial, the material stuff. We're focused on becoming potential. We're chasing potential. Does it make sense? So imagine this. JP and I talked about this. We are at 60% right now. Okay. JP and I put it on our scale. We're at 60%. Okay. Imagine you're at 35% AC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you charge your battery up to get to 100? Habits. Okay. So if you look at your life right now and you reflect, we're all bros here, right? I want you to, what are some things that you feel like you're holding you back? Because JP and I have probably gone through it. What do you feel like is holding you back day to day?
Day to day. It's like I said, the cheap dopamines, for example, like the comfort zone, like wanting to be comfort.
Yeah.
When you get a job or when you get a certain success, like you mentioned, um, success leads to comfort, comfort leads to failure. So it's just I'll just say, and bear with me, bear with me for a minute, bear with me for a minute.
Yeah,
It's
you're good.
yeah, Pretty much just, again, my habits right now, right? So it's all about, for me, just tackling my habits day to day, whether I wake up at 3 in the morning or wake up at 7 in the morning. Or, again, my shifts are flexible. So it did get to myself where I work with these flexible shifts that I started getting a little bit of comfort. But again, like how you seen this, Danny, that um, when I don't do something where I'm not doing much of the habit I'm supposed to do, then it gets me down. It gets me feeling a certain way, like I should be doing this. My body's be telling me in my head right now, like, no, you should be doing this. You should get up. You should brush your teeth. You should get up for a go for. You should take these concussions. You should make your breakfast. You should do these things for you, because when you
Yes.
do these things for you, then you feel more proud for yourself. Like the other day, I was so tired from going. I went to work from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. and I was tired. All those all those boxes I'm lifting, everything, rushing, cleaning up the whole thing, and I said to myself, okay, before that, after this, I gotta go to the gym, regardless, because if I don't go to the gym, then it won't be good, right? As tired as I was, I still went to the gym. I still did my push day, and guess what? I slept like a baby after I got home, knowing that I got it done.
There you go.
Non-negotiables. That's the thing. And we can even go, above and beyond. That hit of dopamine always gonna is gonna keep you distracted. Okay, so we need to listen to our the conscious, right? They want to say like, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing the other thing, right? Like I would relate that like I mean, I don't know what you believe on, but it's basically God talking to you, like, hey, you should be doing this because you said you want this, right?
Hmm.
So when we separate ourselves, we start going like, those quick hit of dopamine. Wait, let me just lay back. Let me scroll on my phone. Let me jerk off. Let me just, I don't know, I just gonna keep waiting. But when you start actually listening to your voice of conscience, right, which is the voice of God, man, things start going and feeling that way. You feel accomplished, like, good, I got it done. And then you start realizing, like, well, the actually real hit of dopamine is the accomplishment that I got to do every day. Those non-negotiables. Oh, I got my workout done. I read my book. I listened to a podcast. Get all my meals done. I meal prep for the week, right? Those are the real hits that we're looking for because it's gonna make you feel satisfied, complete satisfied, fulfillment. We're looking for
Yes.
fulfillment. And those things will make you feel fulfilled.
100%. Chase real dopamine, man. Like chase real dopamine, right? Again, whatever power you believe in, man. When you don't feel like doing something and you're like, let me just relax a little bit. And hey, we're all human, right? And that's what tends to happen sometimes. But if you check yourself, that's the devil talking to you, right? That's the devil talking to you and saying, hey, see, pull back a little bit, man. And he has a way of doing that, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? He has a way of doing that to allow yourself to be
Your weakness.
comfortable. Feels great.
You know your weaknesses. You know where he's
Yeah.
gonna get you from.
Yeah.
I I
He,
know. It
he's like,
happened
hey,
to me. I know.
he's like the Joker. Okay. He's like the Joker. Comes in smiling, but he'll get you, right? So that's one thing is like if you chase real dopamine, man, because that voice that you have in your head, you have mental warfare, right? Every single day. That's why I'm always saying, hey, another day, another W, right? Collect those wins daily and realize, like, hey, maybe I'm not getting to this goal as fast as I would like, but my day to days are looking really good, right? And those will add up. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Because sometimes all of us, man, we're really hard on ourselves, right? We are our own worst critic. Yeah, we are our own worst critic. So that being said, if we feel as though, oh man, I hit the gym, but I didn't really go, as hard as I would like to, be consistent. Okay. We chase perfection too much. If you chase consistency over a period of time, man, dude, you'll start to notice, right? Because JP and I, we're just consistent. Okay. We're not even close to where we want to be in life, AC, right? We're nowhere near close. But that's the at the end of the day, that's the journey that I like to be on. I just want to continue to be on the journey of just developing, because I notice like it's never the money, it's never the things, right? It's like what levels can we get our own personal development to?
We do have. We
That
do have.
you do have, you know. But AC, anything we can help you with, man. We're going to talk about a little bit about making decision off emotions, right? Because that's one thing that hurts a lot of people here shortly. But is there anything that you want to let us know? Because we're gonna do this every Thursday, and you by all means hop on. Is there anything that we can help you with today that's going to help you make one step closer to your goals? Okay.
I would say one thing I would say to ask for a little bit of help is, like you said earlier, especially when you get. So, give me an example of once you reach success, once you reach a good milestone, you start reaching comfort, and comfort is a tricky one. So, and it happens to me when I got the job or when I save a good amount of money and when I went to the gym and when I meal prep, right? So give me an example of the time that you hit that milestone and you feel like you need to be comfort and comfort slowly takes over and you caught yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe.
Man,
He
well,
wants an when you started. So he wants an example when you started to become successful, right? You made more money than you ever had. How did you check yourself, and how did you pull yourself out?
man, is well, let's talk about numbers. The first time I hit 20K a month, I'm like, I kind of chill back. I was like, I'm fine. I have enough clients, right? I stopped doing all the processes I was doing in order to get there. And then when I should realize and start going a different direction, because then I let all my distractions, right? For me, it's like it used to be girls, right? Just here and there, just girls, pure distractions. And then I start locking up on my daily dues, on my non-negotiables. Then I had to pull myself back and actually say, like, oh, I cannot let this happen. Because this right here was a quick hit of dopamine. It was actually meaningless as well. So it wasn't actually like a real thing. It was just more my human nature, right? I'm a dog, so my human nature. So when I actually start, okay, go back to my non-negotiables and actually doing my daily dues, regardless of how I felt, regardless of emotion, regardless of it was snowing, raining, it doesn't matter freaking when. Then I came back to my best self. Like, okay, this is how I perform my best because this is the things I know I need to do, and this is the thing that actually works for me. So every person have their own perspective. Every person
Yeah.
have their own journey, and whatever that is, that's why I say like let's say it that way. The devil always gonna hate you for your weaknesses, and he
Mhm.
knows. So that's why you need to cut off and actually be self-aware. It's like no, and understanding when you need to pull back
Yeah.
and get back to your roots.
I will say, AC, comfort for me is very different, right? So again, when I started to make really good money, right? In terms of like, again, 10, 20, and close to 30 a month, and you start to notice, I want to say financially numbers so you understand like how that can make people feel comfortable, right? Like how that can really make people feel comfortable. And I will say, man, I'm in the same position you are, right? In terms of how you feel, right? Because one thing is when you start to make that, you're like, okay, I can go get things I want. Yes, that's one thing, right? But at the end of the day, I still get to a point where when I noticed that money was coming in every month, it started to make me feel the same. I noticed like I didn't get any change. I wasn't changing, right? And the thing is, I wanted to continue to grow, right? I didn't see my physique just get bigger out of nowhere. I still had to put in the work.
Mhm.
And so there was a point when the money was coming in, and I remember this. My principles were still there. Like I was still, going to gym, I was eating my meals because I knew like, wow, I was doing these things, I was doing my non-negotiables, and my money continued to rise. Why would I stop doing this? Right? Why would I stop doing this? Right? And then when you start to get that, you think, oh, the grass is always green on the other side. Right? The grass is always greener. So I started to sink into things, right? Started thinking, oh, let me go party a little bit, let me go do this. And then I had to really check myself and say, hey, what am I celebrating? What am I celebrating? Oh, because I made more money. I wasn't happy with who I was becoming. So you know what? Let me keep these partying or whatever events when I do really good things, right? In terms of, hey, if I really create a lot of impact this year, whatever, I had to go into these settings with a really good intention to say, hey, what am I here for? right? If I'm just going just because I made a lot of money, that's what made me comfortable, right? Because now the drink or the party, when I come back, now I'm a whole week off, my frequency's lowered, right? I like to be sharp, right? I want to be sharp and I want to make sure that when I'm speaking to you, you're getting my best, right? There's no small talk when I'm speaking to you. It's always my best. Agree?
Agree.
Right. So every time we have a conversation, I always try to get to like the bottom line. What's the root cause? Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Again, from me, man, it's one of the things is like, how do I really ground myself every single day? Is you got to wake up. It's very hard, right? But you have to be a visionary, right? When you want to chase something, you have to have a vision. You have to be visionary, right? You have to see it before it's already there, right? And that goes right into self-belief. You know, if you don't have self-belief in yourself and you don't have confidence, you're not going to be competent into things you want to do, right? So again, every single day, man, I just wake up and I think, man, I have $0 in bank account. And you can easily do that by making more accounts in your bank and putting a couple hundred in there. Does it make sense? Like I only put a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand into my checking, where every day I wake up and I'm like, wow, I have nothing, I have no money. I feel broke. Right. And all accounts are disappeared. Like you don't see it. Okay. That's a way to really ground yourself to realize, like, wow, everything is so temporary. Right. This number value that's in my bank can be gone very quick. So every day you have to pay it, man. Like you have to pay your dues, right? And that's your non-negotiables. Pay your dues, non-negotiables. Okay. And that goes right back to principles. Okay. Your principles, what make you feel great is when you are eating your meals, right? And does the meals have to do anything with you making money? No. Okay. Your meals is what make you feel great. And when you feel great, you will start to move great. Right. So it's the little things, man.
Micro urgency.
Yes. It's the little things that we want you to implement in your life, man. Right. Because when we implement you know, having a structured routine, having systems in your life, that's what's going to allow AC to go from AC 1.0 to 3.0 very quick. Okay. So think about, how do I 10x my life? You got to do 10x things. You gotta 10x it. So that goes over into the over delivering, doing the best you can. Now, eventually opportunities open up, right? Because now you walk into a room, you're completely different. The way you speak to people, you have an aura of energy. People are like, man, I want, who's this guy? Right? I want to go meet this guy. He just looks like that guy. Right? It's just the aura that you have, you know? And again, if you meet JP one day, you know, he walks into the room, people know it's JP there. The energy, he's just there. Right? And you eventually just attract it. You know, become the person that you want to attract. Right? That's a very good saying, man. Become the person that you want to attract. And it's like it's the mirror. It's the mirror of life.
It is.
Does that make sense? So if you walk in, man, for example, you walk into your job, and let's say it's not your forever job. If you walk in with a negative energy already in your mindset, the whole day will become negative, right? Because you are a reflection of your own mirror. Yeah, you are the reflection. So again, once you understand that concept, man, when you wake up, you're in control of your day. It's a game. Say, hey, if your intentions for the day is to say, hey, I'm going to track some opportunities today. I'm going to make sure I walk into this day with really good energy. It's going to come back to you, man. And I know you feel those days, right? Especially when you're out of the gym and you have a really good leg day or whatever it is. You walk out, man, I can conquer the world right now. You can start your day like that by allowing yourself to do those principles. Right? You can start your days, man, just like that every day. You don't need to have it right outside the gym. Like when you're done with the workout, you can have it before. Right? But you got to chase real dopamine. Things that make you feel good.
Great.
Understood.
All right. And yeah, man, we're very passionate, bro. Like we love what we do. And especially these calls that we're doing Thursdays, we want to continue to have a lot of people on here, man. Right. And so it's one thing is because when you are creating yourself, eventually you want to give it back to the world. Right? Create yourself to the highest person you can be and give it back to the world. That's the main goal, right? It's having a servant's heart. It's doing things right by people. Does that make sense, AC? Always do right by people, man. Like don't ever go and be, oh, this guy did me wrong, and you try to go the other way. You are now the same person as that guy. Right? So it's developing these characteristics, man, because again, your environment dictates everything. You start hanging around negative people, you start to become that person. Yeah. Right? No matter how positive you are, bro, cancer is real. You know, like in life is real. Right? The voice will come in, it'll get stuck. Okay. So JP, you have anything else, man?
Oh man, I think it was a great call. I think we have a lot of good pointers to take out, and hopefully my man over here just you can take it and actually ride the whole rest of the week. And I hope we can see you next week as well, my man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Any questions, AC?
Same time, same times next week.
Sure. Yes, sir. So we'll have it on. You can follow JP on his Instagram as well. JP, what's your Instagram?
It's JP_performance_rise. Oh, you're probably gonna see me on his stories later today.
Yeah. So the thing is, for example, if you follow his journey, man, he does a lot of things. Again, in Spanish, you have some people right there. It's JP as well, especially people at your work. And again, man, it's we want these calls to be as helpful as we can to you, right? Like we said, we're no better than you. We're the same. We're human, okay? But we just want people to get into the wave of that development because that's where it is, man. Because you working and you're just making money, it's going to cap at some point, right? You going in and you're just working this amount of hours, it's going to be very, very monotonous and the same. Okay. The only way you're ever going to jump out of that box is start working on yourself. Right. So you should have the hunger, man. Like when you walk in there, man, you're like, I want to get out of this. Okay. Start building yourself up. Okay. And then guess what? Once you start building yourself up, build the people in your job up. Start motivating them. Hey, come to the gym with me and start being that person. Be the light for people, man, because the world needs that.
Yeah. Yeah, don't keep it by yourself. You gotta spread the blessings, man. Whatever help you out, I mean, you have the right to actually give it away, and that's how you're
Yeah.
gonna become better. The best way for you to learn something is whatever you learn, you teach it to somebody else. Just give it,
100%.
serve, and that's what we're here for. Serve.
Yes. For
So
example,
right now, giving you the good
yeah.
news. We're actually, hey, let's let's grow to a different level, and this is what we do. You serve.
AC, have how many times have maybe somebody in the gym asked you to do a certain movement and you know how to do it and you start helping them?
I would say so far in my life, about 2 to 3 times.
How's
At
that
this one,
feel?
it
How's that
feels
feel?
good. It feels good because I'm genuine to help somebody who wants to improve their form. Like I had
Yeah.
this kid while I was doing powerlifting back then couple years ago, and I was deadlifting like around close to 500. This kid who came with a parent asking me, you probably think, oh wow, he deadlift good amount of weight. Like let me just ask him. He asked me um, how how to deadlift with good form, how to deadlift properly, and I personally just show how to do it. And after the ropes, I feel great that I was able to teach somebody how to do it. So that because if he didn't ask me or if I didn't teach him, he would have probably injured himself.
Yeah. Hey man, it's the little things, man. It's the little things that you might look past, like, oh, I'm gonna just help this person out. Right. But in the moment, man, when you do that, you are transferring energy. Right. You are transferring energy to this person. And then again, it's a domino effect. Right. It's a domino effect where you don't even realize that, hey, maybe your strategies or the technique is now being passed on continuously. Right. It's if you look at in that picture macro, you don't even realize if maybe you've changed his kit. Maybe he's a world champion by now. You don't know just by you helping, right? So yeah, man. AC, thank you for hopping on, man. We can chat later
All right.
about thing we talked about, but JP and I appreciate you hopping on, man. Again, we hope to see you next week as well. Bring a friend, invite somebody from the gym, needs this, just hop on. Okay.
All right.
All right, brother.
Talk
Good
to
to meet you, my man. You have a good day.
Same here, JP.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
you.